Get ready to get ready.
Coming to you live from the MFG Studios
In the heart of America's summer golf capital, we help you play better golf. It's time to get your game on.
and take it deep.
This is the Mike Fay Golf Show.
Here's your host, Mike Fay.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the show today. I am very excited to be back up and going with the Mike Fay Golf Show. Just want to take some time to introduce you to our esteemed team from Team MFG here. Let's start off with Frank Gastella. Frank, how are you today, my friend?
I'm great, Michael. How are you doing?
Doing super duper. Frank has been with Mike Fay Golf for a very long time. Since 2011, he has been writing for the website. He is a PGA Rules official and a PGA Master Professional in St. Clair, Michigan. Thanks so much for being on today, Frank.
It's a pleasure, Michael. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I am very excited to have you here. Next up is live from Australia, Mr. Brent Davis. Very happy to have you on, my friend. We're going very, very good. Brent's been on the website since 2012, writing articles about fitness, and he's going to be writing about a whole bunch of other stuff. Brent, tell us about what you've been doing the last few years there.
Well, I've been working for the PGA. So I came back from coaching overseas. I was coaching overseas in Taiwan and China, and now I'm working for the education section of the PGA of Australia. So I get to work with the trainees and get to work with the continuing training for our full members. So all really cool stuff.
Very good. Very, very cool. And last without least, let's see this gentleman here. He has been on the Mike Fay Golf Show on our podcast a lot. You know him as the Hellcat, Jason Hellman. How are you, Jay?
I'm great, thanks, Mike. Happy to be on the show. Happy to be getting together with all the other guys as well. Get to work with a master professional, and I've been lucky enough to work with Brent through the PGA of Australia, doing a webinar with him in the past. So that was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yes, Jason, Canada PGA Teacher of the Year and National Teacher of the Year and National Professional Development winner, a two-time national winner. We are very happy and honored to have him going here with the Mike Fay Golf Show. So, a couple of notes about what's going on here. I am here in Northern Michigan. I'm the PGA Director of Player Performance here at the Boyne Golf Academy. If you don't know who I am, currently our weather right now in Northern Michigan is 22 degrees with a wind chill of 14. And we are about to get a whole bunch of snow. We want to know what the weather is and where you're from tonight. And we want to create, as you saw from some of the notes, the, let's say, the most interactive golf show online, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
And
Comments coming through.
yeah, it's all about that and having some fun and doing some really cool things with some golf instruction. We'll be talking about Hellman's Hot 5 in a little while, which he gets to talk about anything he wants to talk about, which is pretty neat.
Scary too.
Absolutely. And of course, as you guys know, the rules videos that Frank and I have made over the years, Frank will be talking a little bit about the rules and what we have planned for the months and years to come with this new venture. Please be patient with me because, to be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm doing, and this is going to be fun. Hopefully that the technology works, and it looks like so far it is. So that's pretty cool. Couple things on a personal note. I've been away for a while, probably about a year, from doing a lot of these things. I have been battling a number of health issues. First off, I want to thank my wife, Shelley, and my daughter, Rachel, for being right there with me. These four guys have been right there with me, helping me through these things. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. That's why we're starting this stuff. Everyone at Boyne, thank you so much for everything you've done. Try and help me get better, because it's a battle. And it's a battle every day that I fight. You're going to see it. I have lost about 90 pounds now. I'm feeling a little bit better, but maybe in some shows to come, we'll start talking about what has happened. And you will see this show is not just all about golf. It'll be about life too. And we're going to be talking to some healthcare professionals and do some other really cool things to help all of you. So whatever I can do to help would be great, not just golf. So let's get into the lineup. What do you think, guys?
Sounds good.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Today's lineup is sponsored by one of our sponsors is Tifosi Optics. Tifosi Optics has a brand new line of new glasses. I believe I have some Enliven sunglasses, and they are sponsoring our show. They are pretty cool. And you guys will be able to compete to have some contest wins here. So down the road, we'll be throwing up contests and all that stuff. These sunglasses are especially made for golf, which is pretty cool. So we'll be giving away all that kind of stuff and a whole bunch of swag from Tifosi amongst our sponsors as we go. So today's lineup, let's get to it. Okay, so we've already discussed that. This will also be turned into a podcast that you guys will be able to listen to on Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, iTunes, all over the place. We'll be turning this into that as well. Want to get some housekeeping done. We talked about some of our sponsors. We'll keep that going, and we'll be giving away a bunch of swag during this as well. Right after this, we'll be talking to Fix My Swing. As you guys have seen on there, you guys will be able to send in your swing to us, and we'll be having a segment on that. We've got a bunch of people sending in swings right now, and we're going to talk and try and help out someone from Florida today who sent in their swing, which is pretty cool. We're going to talk about MFG University, a new venture for us. Like I said, Hellman's Hot 5, PGA Tour interviews, and the new golf rules, touch on that a little bit. And then last but not least, golf pros who play golf, which is pretty neat stuff. So let's get into Fix My Swing. What do you think here, gents?
Sounds good.
All right.
Good.
Let's fire it up.
We're going to go ahead and switch this over here. Get this turned on here. Okay, can everybody see that on there? Everybody, can you let me know that you guys can see this screen good? You can hear us good? Give us a little comment here and there about what's going on. Waiting for some comments to come through on Facebook, wherever you're watching it. Also, it's going to be live on, we've got a feed on the website as well. You can see my screen. That would be pretty cool. Okay, let's go down here to this. Everybody see the swing? There we go. Now we got our Fix My Swing is going to be powered by Coach Now, which we're very excited about developing a relationship with them. They are fired up about having us do this stuff live. All right, this gentleman his name is Marco Glumac. He is from Florida. Like I said, he's a 4 handicapper. He has played some local events. Says his biggest swing flaw is coming over the top in the backswing, and misses include fat pushes over the top poles, and some of his faults bleed into his short game. And that's not fun, Marco. So we're going to try and help you. He can also be inconsistent with what he does. So, Mr. Hellman, you're going to take the wheel here. I think we're going to start from down the line, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, let's start from down the line. We're going to put up some plain line views here. Let's take a look. There we go. All right. We've kind of had a look at the swing before. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I've had a couple looks at it. Sets up the ball out on the toe. I actually like that quite a bit. And posture is quite good. He's a 4 cap, so pretty good, pretty decent player. You're going to want to line him up to the top here. So he says the issues are coming across the line at the top, and a lot of people think that is an issue. Basically, if the reroute or transition, gets a little bit lost in translation on the way down, or he sort of overdoes it, then we don't know what his actual ball flight, what his shape he would prefer. But I like a lot of things. So he's got his left knee kicked in there. He's pretty braced on his right side there. Let's go ahead and start the transition down. He has a little crossing line there at the top, but I don't think that's a horrible thing. So he does have a little reroute to the outside on the way down. Let me just get rid of that line for a sec, Mike.
Okay.
And then go wind him back up to the top there, and we can just sort of see his transition. So there's where he starts down a little bit to the outside and gets it outside the gets the club head a little outside, and then we get to impact. And then if you can zoom in just right around there, we had a look at that just to see where this club face is, sort of post impact, and how fast it closes.
Yeah, it does close pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I would think that his path is pretty conducive to hitting a fade most often. Where I would like to take him is to see what kind of club face control we can get on the way down, so that if his path is pretty good and pretty repetitive, we're not going to make like a whole lot of overhauls here. I think a few small tweaks would be great. So work on some club face control, and that post impact closure rate is kind of like a save it move, right? That's his reaction, is just to try and get the hands through quick. He doesn't feel like he's in the right space. So we may also tackle one other thing, depending on how much he wanted to work on this, if that is not his sort of routine path. So if you can just sort of wind him up again, Mike, to the top and swing. So I might like to work a little bit of arm plane here to get that in line with his shoulder plane, and that will help get the club just a little bit more laid off and behind him versus so upright and sort of almost over the back of his neck there. And then we can work on his path on the way down. And again, sort of try and find out what his actual ball shape he prefers to hit. When someone says, they're pushing and pulling it, kind of seems that their ball shape would kind of like to be straight. So straight's not really a shape, and all the holes are crooked on the golf course. So we really need to find something that is repetitive for him, so that he can, control his ball flight and ball shape.
Absolutely.
I always get that question that's asked, well, I want to hit it straight all the time. Okay, so essentially our bodies need to move kind of robotically to have that happen, and everything zeroes out, and lots of magic has to happen to do that. And no one practices quite enough to do all that stuff. So there you can see the club face really closed, right?
Yeah, it gets ripping closed. What else do you guys think?
He looks a little steep on the downswing, Mike.
Yeah, down here, right? Looks like he gets it a little bit too steep on the downswing, and then he's got to back up from it and try and flip it shut, right? All right, you guys want to take a look at it? Yeah, that was great. Marco sent us from Face On, too. You want to look at that?
Just while you're doing that, Mike, just again, going back to what Jay said, depending on what the path numbers are and how consistent they are, maybe a little bit of softness in those arms and that transition might help make that path a little bit more consistent, depending how bad it is or how inconsistent it is.
Absolutely. Okay, here is from Face On.
It does a really nice job getting the impact there.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, like
pretty good, right?
Shaft through the left leg. That's, you know, his balance and stability are pretty awesome. Footwork is great. So I mean, a lot of his groundwork, his ground game is quite fantastic. Actually, I don't see anything changing down there. Usually, that's where I start a lot of the times. But
you can tell he can play.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking the same thing. That with that over the top move, there's possibly a little bit of a transition or a sequencing issue, but it looks pretty decent from Face On.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, there's some athleticism to his swing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Marco, good golf swing, my friend. Absolutely. Very nice. Anything else, gents?
That's pretty good from that angle too. So I think maybe, you know, from this particular angle, depending on where the camera exactly is, that face might be just a little shot at impact. Which, you know, when you start to add speed and change direction, it's not opening that much. It's probably closing, right? So
yeah,
there might be another little issue in regards to his over-the-top pulls. And then if you do that enough times, you're going to figure out a way to get that face open a little bit. So then you might hit, you know, the odd push. So.
Well, if any of you guys are out there and you want to chime in about Marco, be happy to. Throw it in the comments right now to give him some help with his golf game. We think it's really, really good. A few little things and be on his way to getting those things fixed. Awesome stuff. Thank you guys so much. Very, very cool. Looks like we got a bunch of people online right now watching us. Let's see who is online right now.
I've seen a couple of Aussies in those posts, so
I see that.
Australians listening.
I did. You got Brent and Glenn, yeah, from Pro Golf Me.
Yes, very, very cool.
Billy Post is watching, Mike.
Yes, Mr. Post, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see who else. Sean
Jason
Smith.
Gus was in there.
Jason Gus is in here. Hey, Jay, how are you, my friend? Dave McWhirter's here. Our club master over at Boyne, Master Club Fitter. Thank you so much. Very, very cool. All right, next up, we are going to keep things moving along. A segment that we call MFG University. It is a pretty cool thing that we're going to be starting. Our hope is by March to get this thing going. I'm excited about it, and it's going to be a membership-only site for that. Pretty cool stuff. So let's get rolling. Okay, so here is a great drill to learn what a golf swing feels like. So what I want you to do is put your grip end down your lead shoulder here. Cross your arms across your chest. Set the club up on top of your shoulders. Get into your posture. So you're going to stick your butt out, put your weight a little bit farther forward, bend your knees some. And what you're going to do is try and turn your shoulders to the ground. Okay? So if we look at this like this, and we put this stick out here into like ball position, it would be for here. What we want to do is turn our shoulders behind that line. Look at it, and I can see the shaft behind that line. Is a great exercise. We want the right butt cheek to be pushing backward. Okay. Left knee kind of kicking in towards the ball. And
And then on the downswing, it's the opposite, right? So the right shoulder goes down and the left butt cheek goes back. We want to make sure that we get the club past the line again, okay? So what does it look like from the down the line view when we get into our hitting station here? That club up high now. Up here, cross our hands. We turn behind. We can see that we're turning back here. We're tilting our shoulders towards the ground. Not doing this. Standing up, see? We'll make sure that we do this, and then the right shoulder down. We can turn, get up onto our lead foot, turn, just like that. It's a great drill to practice. You could do it even inside.
So yeah, I thought this would be very, very appropriate for the winter time here, and it's a great drill. Like I said, you can do inside with that tilt like that. So pretty excited about that. It's pretty neat stuff. Next up, we got Hellman's Top 5.
Hey guys, I'm gonna start out with Justin Rose. Justin Rose was with TaylorMade for 20 years and has just switched over to Hanma. So he is the first, the highest ranked player ever to play golf clubs from that company, which is quite interesting. I think he's the first, or actually UK, but first PGA Tour player that's in the top 5 to play their golf clubs. And I guess Mark King came over from TaylorMade and is now the strategic advisor. He was the CEO for TaylorMade from 99 to 13, I think it was. So it looks like he's working his previous relationships and putting Hanma on the front lines of the PGA Tour, which is kind of interesting. They have always traditionally been sort of like a high-end company. I mean, I remember I went to Australia last year and I stopped in at Golf Town and they had sets for $78,000, $5,000, $20,000. Real high-end company. He's got driver, prototype irons, 4 through 6, and Proto MB 7 through 9. He's got Proto wedges, 47, 56, and 60. And they haven't started working with them on fairway woods yet. And recently, this week at the Tournament Champions in Hawaii, Paul Casey also seen with Hanma clubs in his bag. So there could be a few new players coming to Hanma in the very near future because some of those guys don't have exclusive deals with equipment companies. So that's one of the hot 5 there. And then second up, we've got the PGA Teaching and Coaching Summit and the PGA Show. Now, why do we need to go to the Teaching Summit? If you're a teacher, I think it's very, very important to stay up to date with tech and teaching, even if you get a few nuggets of new information to use into your philosophy, your system that you prefer. It's a must for people to keep up with that these days. And if you're not, you're going to get left behind pretty quick. So that's I'm going to that. Mike's going to that. There's probably, I don't know, quite a few other people that I know. I haven't stayed in touch with everybody online, but I look forward to seeing them all there. And I've said this many times before. It's really important to set an education budget for yourself. And if you can't, definitely go somewhere nearby where you can shadow another instructor. This is obviously geared towards some of the teachers that may follow us, follow the podcast. But also important for students to understand that their teachers do stay educated and keep up with the times. So when you're researching a teacher or instructor or coach, that may be one thing that you want to be looking for or ask them. PGA Show, I'm looking forward to seeing all the new innovative products. There's teaching and training aids. traininggains.com is a great company to check with. They're going to be there. I have some stuff on my site that I sell through them. Some of the trusted products that really work for students and create some new feels. And check out my shop. Check out Mike's shop. I think he carries some stuff too that we really believe in. There's a lot of stuff out there that's not great. So one of the reasons we go to the show and check all that stuff out is to make sure that we bring the best products that will help our students down the road. We'll head over to number 3, top 5. TaylorMade came out with a new line of drivers, and they came out with a new set of irons. One set of irons so far, P760s. They look pretty good, and the M5 and the M6 is stretching the limits on speed. So that might be a new thing to check out in 2019. Looking forward to catching up with them at the show. And then we'll head over to number 4, Mike, the rookie list. So I can't quite read that when you get that up there, but it has Cameron Champ as the leader on this list. Now through the fall series, it had 5 starts, made 5 cuts, 3 top 10s, and 1 win through the fall series. It's a pretty solid start. The kid hits it a ton. And I remember making a comment on some Instagram post I saw. I was like, wow, he could work a little bit on his footwork, and then of course all the people chime in with their opinions. And his footwork is a little jumpy. Obviously, he's moving pretty quick, but I think if he stayed a little more grounded and a little bit more stable, and I'm sure Sean will work on that with him, just like he did when he worked on Tiger's footwork. Who's the 2, 3, or 4 there, Mike? On
well, one of the ones that I'm excited about, ranked 21st, is Joey Garber, Boyne's own Joey Garber. So very cool that he's up on the PGA Tour ranking list. That's all good stuff. Cameron Champ is just hitting it like a champ, isn't he? That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Congrats to all these guys playing really, really good.
Just finish up with the 5th one there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy. Winter coaching. It's minus 11 Celsius here. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. So the winter time is actually the best, or off season. You want to call it off season if you have an off season somewhere, where you can take advantage of making any of those necessary technical changes, or if you decide to make a swing overhaul with coach, this is the absolute best time to work on that. The reason for that being is that we're not posting any scores during that time. So we're a little less focused on outcome and score, and we can focus on the process a bit more. And then that'll help you make the changes easier. Hitting indoors is sometimes the greatest thing. So what we're looking for is if you can pay attention, can't pay attention to ball flight. Not seeing ball flight is good, because then we can actually develop some better feels as to what we're trying to focus on. If you're working on a new move, if you're changing path, if you're working on your footwork, if you're working on balance drills, all those things, you pay attention more to those things because the ball's it's not there, or we've taken it away, we've taken that outcome away. So now you can work on that process part of it. I know it's a buzzword process, but it just really is a fact that we have to work on that stuff. So if you are tuning in and you are in a winter climate or in your off season somewhere, hopefully you're getting in shape, getting yourself a little fitter, and working with a coach, once or twice a week, or once every week, 2 times a month would be good, as long as you're staying in the game. What happens sometimes here is that people get conditioned into moving into other sports, and they sort of put one sport completely aside. But now, we have 2 domes here in Toronto. There's another lab that's fully equipped with all the technology to hit indoors. So there's kind of no excuse for people to put the golf clubs aside if they really want to get better. Now is the time to make those changes and then walk right into spring with a new game and new swing, whatever you want to work, whatever you've been working on over the winter, and not relearn in May and June and July, and just play golf. So then we can just be on a monitoring program versus a learning program in the middle of your golf season. So I would encourage lots of people to take on a coaching program in the off season.
Yeah, that was our first video with MFG University. Just a little drill for you guys. Try and work on and stay loose over the wintertime, but definitely getting a coach is a big deal. What do you think, Frank? Working on wintertime stuff. We'll get to Brent you later. It's summertime down there, but we are socked in here, about to get another few inches of snow here in the next couple of days. Keeping active and busy. Frank, what do you do? I know you are a very active fella with Cyphus, right?
Yes, Cyphus training is really high-intensity interval training, and it's done on what looks like a football field, and you use primarily your body weight in either a 25, 35, or 45-pound weight plate. And you have 1 hour to complete a group of tasks. There's a board up. It's a total body workout. It works on core strength, stability, flexibility, mobility. There's different tasks such as running, jumping, plyometrics. It's a fantastic workout. I do it somewhere between 4 and 6 days a week. I'm 66 years old. I'm probably the oldest person that does it on a continual basis, but I can tell you it's keeping me out of doctor's offices. I don't have any cholesterol problems. I don't have any sugar problems. The things that are checked on when I go take a physical are very, very good. The workout is phenomenal. When I walk out of that facility, I'm dripping wet. It just is. I can't explain exactly just how intense the workout is, but I can tell you it really helps your body. It helps your athleticism, and it's something that I would highly recommend to people. You don't have to do anything to that extent, but any kind of interval training would be helpful to you.
What are you doing fit over there in Toronto, Jay, this time of year?
I'm in the gym every morning. Try to be every morning before I go to work. I'm still teaching Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Pretty full schedule. So I do my best to get in there every morning before breakfast. And I started working with Michelle Liu, who is a biomechanist here in Toronto. She used to work on the LPGA Tour with several girls out there, and she found out that why my hips are locked up. So we're working on that, and my 9 degrees of rotation in the downswing will hopefully be 30 soon. I'm got a little bit of lateral shift going there, but yeah, it's been fun, and just working hard towards the next season.
Trying to get rid of that pain, right? That's the big
deal.
Yeah,
it's not so much pain, actually. I even noticed that I'm doing all these drills. It's way easier to swing my leg outside the car now. Like to get out of the car, my car kind of sits low to the ground, and I can actually open my hip out to the left now to get out.
Very, very cool.
That's only about 3 weeks.
Very cool. Brent, what is the current temperature down there right now?
Yeah, I'm just a bit confused about this. That you can't play golf 12 months of the year. What's going on in that part of the world over there? We just tee it up no matter what. Yeah, we got a nice, comfortable 20, 25, 26 degrees, clear blue sky in Melbourne. I did see a person from Tasmania on our broadcast there, so maybe he's not quite as warm as we are, but it's all nice and comfortable. So I don't quite get this off-season stuff. So I'm a little bit concerned about you poor guys over there in the snow. So
we hardly ever play golf.
That's it. Oh, yeah, person that plays 400 times a year. So
yeah, well, we're going to talk about that later. But
we'll certainly get to that. But I just wanted to touch on that last point you made in your top five, Jace, with the taking away the ball flight. I think is a really good coaching tool. Plenty of players out there get golf ball obsessed sometimes and ball flight obsessed. So we have a thing in Australia with the private clubs tend to have hitting nets. So getting them inside those hitting nets where they can't see the ball flight is a great way to work on those feels and swing changes without having to concern themselves with where the ball's going, because it can be a big distraction for a whole lot of players. Also coming in MFG University is a 12-month periodized plan, so some periodization stuff. So being able to understand what you should be training and when you should be training it is important in golf. So even if we are fortunate like we are in Australia to have golf 12 months of the year, there is times of the year where you're not playing tournaments. So that's the time that you should be working on your swing changes and your fitness levels and that kind of stuff as well. So there'll be some more information coming with MFG University with that.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff coming on there. We've got and it's going to be for all levels of player too. So I'm pretty excited about getting that out there. That thing has been in the plan even longer than this show. This show has been planned, Frank, for 2 years, right? We've been trying to figure out how we're going to get this done, and then I wasn't feeling good for a while, and then now we're back at it. So I'm really excited that you guys have tuned in. If you could, put in there where you are from, and I'd love to hear what the temperature is where you're from, because it's pretty cold here in northern Michigan. So type in the comments now all about what's going on. That would be fantastic.
Clear blue sky and warm weather.
I bet. We're going to have to come down and visit you at some point, Brent, for sure, and get some sunshine on our faces for sure. But weather has, look, Mr. Hobson says it's sunny. Very nice. Where are you, Mr. Hobson? Let's see here. He's in Michigan, 50 degrees and sunny. Well, it wasn't sunny up north here. A lot colder, Frank. We were talking about that. A lot colder up north today than down where you are in St. Clair.
Yeah, it was, 45, 46 degrees down here today, and there was people out on golf courses. Wow. It was nice, sunny, blue sky. Yesterday was the same way. Good weekend for golf.
Yeah, well, we got lots of snow up here. Everybody's skiing like crazy. It's been awesome. Kids are out of school through the weekend. A lot of them from downstate are. So they're all up here taking advantage of all the ski hills and having some fun. It's all good stuff. Thank you so much for Mr. Hobson coming on. I see Mr. Molesky is on too. The El Presidente has made an appearance. I'm sure that he'll be on the Mike Fay Golf Show as well. And like we said, Mr. Post is on. That's pretty cool. Mr. McWhorter. Who else came on here? We have any comments on Twitter there, Brent?
No, it's been quiet on so far on Twitter, so feel free to send the tweets through. Use the hashtag MFG Show.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. Lots of comments going on here. Let's see. Let's get on to Frank. You ready?
I'm ready, Mike.
Okay, my friend. Let's get rolling here. There he is. Look at that guy. Good-looking guy he is right there. We are going to. Frank and I have been doing a bunch of those videos that you've seen on YouTube and all over our website. And he has a number of articles. How many articles have you written about the rules on MikeFayGolf.com, Frank?
Probably a good 50, Mike, maybe even a few more. Because we've been doing this since 2011.
Yeah, since 2011. That's unbelievable. And
he makes me look really bad.
Come on.
Not really.
No, come on. Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit here just today. We've got a bunch of things planned. I know that I'm thinking about a couple a week, don't you think, Frank?
Yeah, I think we can handle a couple a week per on our show. And I think a couple of things that I'd just like to let our viewing audience know is the rules of golf have been reduced from 34 rules to 24 rules. Basically, what the RNA and the USGA was trying to do with this process here was help speed play and simplify the rules a little bit. So you're going to see some different type of terminology, uh, just to give our audience a couple little tidbits here. Uh, they need to know that there's not going to be a penalty now if you accidentally have your ball or ball marker move on a green. The search time for looking for your ball has gone from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. And now when you drop a ball, you're going to drop from your knee instead of from shoulder height. So those are just a few little things that we're going to be covering during the course of the show. Another thing I'd like to have our viewing audience know is if you're interested in the rules and you want to buy a rules book or a decisions book, you can go to usga.org/rules and you can get a lot of questions answered, and you can also get some information. I think that's very important for our tournament players who it's always good to have a rule book in your bag. It never hurts. And, you know, a lot of times you're playing in tournaments where there are no rules officials. So you have to rely on the local golf professional when you come in, or if you have some kind of a problem on the golf course, you have to try to work it out amongst the players. So I highly recommend that if you're going to play tournament golf, make sure you have a rules book in your bag. But those are just a couple of the things that we're going to be talking about. We may be giving away some things like a decisions book or a rules book in time. So I certainly welcome your questions, and we'll try to help you out as much as possible. Just to discuss one other thing, like Jason was talking about, it's up to us to be informed. I'm going to be attending a 4-day rules workshop in Denver, Colorado in March, where we get very, very in depth into the rules, and I'm looking forward to that because I want to be able to give our viewing audience, and when I work a tournament, our players, the best information possible.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, going to a rule seminar already. Frank and I have discussed it a whole bunch, and Jason, Brent, you know, this changes the whole ball game. And I think we're going to kind of take our time through this podcast and show wherever you're listening to it. If you're listening to it live on Facebook, or we're going to be having it on YouTube and Periscope soon live, and then also we'll have a audio version on it of it just about everywhere, including TuneIn and Spotify and all these other places. But you know, for the laid person, I think it's fantastic. I think these rules changes for the amateur golfer are awesome and make it so much easier for them to play golf. I think it's going to help them a lot. The big thing is for guys like me and you, you know, that have been playing for a long time, Frank. I mean, it's going to take a little while for us to get used to the rules, right?
Oh, it will. I talked to Mark Wilson about this before, and there's going to be a transition period. Players are going to remember the rules as they were, and now there's going to be some changes. So there's going to be some adjustment time in there.
Yeah, it's going to take us a little while. I've heard a couple of stories. We got Bill Hobson chiming in here with Gary Woodland's story. Was spared a penalty earlier when his ball moved, but he hadn't caused it. You know, I had heard, I believe El Presidente was telling me a story about DeChambeau not knowing, was very apprehensive when going to take a drop when he hit it in a hazard. You know, excuse me, not a hazard, a penalty area.
Penalty area.
Yes, penalty area. Yes. So, you know, all those things, the terminology has changed, everything has changed, right? So, how are the rules changes being adapted down in Australia here, Brent?
Haven't had a whole lot of comments yet. We're going to run a webinar for our members next week. So hopefully that'll get a bit of discussion going, a bit of chat. Our tour is kind of on a bit of a break at the moment, so there's not a whole lot of, not too many events running. So I haven't had too much feedback as of yet, but I'll be curious to see what kind of questions we get when we run the webinar. Our tour guys from the PGA are going to host that for me, so we'll see how that run plays out.
Yeah, it'll be a lot. There's a lot to go over there and a lot to learn too, right? Frank, you were saying that they were trying to get rid of the decisions book is one of the biggest reasons why they had to change this, other than simplifying the game and getting it to grow. But right, the decisions book is really hopefully going to be going away with all these changes, right?
Well, I'm thinking at some point in time it may, Mike, because they tried in the rule book, they tried to get a little more specific with each rule and give players a little bit better understanding of the rule and why the rule was made. But there still is a decisions book out right now, and I'm just not sure how useful it's going to be right away.
Right. Well, we certainly have enough to write about now with all these changes, right, Frank, on the website. And,
Yes, we do.
next summer we'll be doing a whole bunch of new videos on how to do things, and it's going to be fun, my friend. I look forward to doing it with you.
Me too.
Absolutely. So, what else is on the agenda? We've already talked about the launch of MFG University. That will come in March. That's what we're looking for. Also, on the website, you can catch this if you do not have a Facebook account or you're seeing it somewhere else, or if you need to look at our online live show. That is going to be on the Mike Fagoff Show Facebook page and on live on the website as well. That's up going right now. Fix My Swing. If you go to mikefagoff.com/fix my swing, you can submit your swing to us. We've got a bunch of people submitted their swings already, and thanks so much, Marco, down in Florida, for sending in your swing, my friend. That was awesome. And you want to get the help you need. You don't have to be an expert player. You can be a total beginner. I don't really care. We're going to try and help you get better at golf. It's going to be fun. We did launch this past week a new thing on the website amongst the brand new website. There is a new website. It's being built right now, and most of it's almost done. If you want to go to mikefagoff.com, it looks pretty cool. It's been updated, and we've got a MFG shop. So if you go to the shop tag up on the home page there, you're going to see a bunch of logo wear that you can purchase on the website, as well as a bunch of training aids like Jason was talking about. He's got a bunch on his, some on mine, and we have affiliate stores that we use to help you get the stuff that we use with you to get better. So, do we have anything else, gentlemen, before we sign off?
I think we're going to touch on golf pros who play golf.
That's right. That is last. I see it on our list. Go ahead, Brent.
I thought you'd snubbed me. I thought I was getting the flick first episode.
I saved you, brother.
I thought that was very nasty. But I was curious to hear from the guys out there that are listening to this, and also from our presenters. But we've kind of got the polar opposites here in the crew. So I played one game of golf for the last 12 months. I think Jason played about 523. Based on his social media posts. So there's if you haven't got him on Twitter or Instagram, feel free to jump on there, because you'll see 400 pictures of golf courses that he's played. But I was curious for thoughts on golf coaches at play. Do you feel like you should be out on the golf course a lot? Do the students want to play golf with you? Do you as a student, do you feel like you should be playing golf with your coach? From a business perspective, I've always found it's a good way to gain some clients by spending time out on the golf course and showing your face outside the pro shop, from getting out from behind the counter. But I was curious of the thoughts of our esteemed panel here.
Well, I'll speak from my perspective. I'm the teaching professional at our facility, and I do play with the membership there on occasion, but I feel my job is to be there to teach and be available to teach. The head professional at our facility does get out and play with the members, and it helps him get to know the membership a little bit better, know what they like, and they also get an opportunity to see how he plays. That's probably good for him in relation to getting some lessons. But for me personally, I don't do it that much. I feel my job is to be there, to be available to teach our membership.
Okay. Any other thoughts from you, Jace or Mike?
Yeah, sure. My coaching programs all include playing lessons, on-course playing lessons. So let's say Brent and I are going to work together, and we work on some technical aspect on the range one week. I'm going to give you anywhere between seven, maybe 8, 9 days to reschedule the next session, and we're going to go out on the golf course and play. Now, that is solely dependent on whether you're going to practice or not. So if you don't practice or let me know that you've practiced those drills in between, I do have some student accountability. We will not be doing that playing lesson. So yeah. I think that's just a fair way for, people always say, oh, I don't have time. I'm doing this or that. So.
Yeah, I don't know, a pure coaching perspective, I always found it as a great way to build a clientele, to show your face out there, and I've always found that if I did play a game of golf, those three players I played with would tend to become students pretty quickly. So I don't see it as wasting time. I see it as a great way to build my business. There's some really good information from Retail Tribe. I'm not sure whether you guys have come across that. Yep. Ian James, he spent some time with our members and did some stuff, and he talks about getting golf pros out from behind the counter and getting them onto the golf course and showing their face more. So I personally think it's a good thing, but obviously you can't spend 12 hours a day out on the golf course. You need to find time to coach as well. So there's going to be that balance between playing and coaching.
Yeah, sure. I think it's terribly important to get out there, Brent, with your students and play some golf. You're right. There's no doubt playing golf definitely facilitates lessons and coaching. But like Jason, my coaching programs include being on the golf course and playing golf with them. And it's not just for golf coaches and golf instructors and director of instructions and PGA teacher professionals. I think it goes much deeper than that, like you said, Brent. I think that we have to get out and promote the game. We are the leaders of the game as PGA professionals, and we have to get out there and play some golf with these people that come and patronize our places and have fun and grow the game of golf. We are the leaders of golf, so we got to get out there and play. No doubt.
Completely agree, and I'd be curious to see in the comments section, and hit us up on Twitter with your thoughts on that. Do you want your coach to be able to get on the golf course and play with you? I know as a kid I was petrified of playing with the head pro, but it was also a great experience to see those guys, and I can still tell you those the trainees and the pros that I had when I was growing up were great with sharing their time, and you can see how it's supposed to be done. So I think it's a great thing to get out there and play.
It is. There's no doubt, and I bet you probably still remember that first time being out there, and that's always a cool memory that you'll always have to be with your golf coach.
Yeah, I could barely get the ball on the tee. I was shaking that hard.
No doubt.
Well, unlike my other 523 rounds that I played, I actually only play once per week in season.
Rubbish.
On men's night. On men's night with a group of members, either new or clients of mine, and then obviously I do the playing lessons to make sure that we're transfer training to the golf course that technical or skill that we worked on in the past, into the environment in which they actually perform, so they become confident out there and can actually pull the trigger and see a result and get the result that they hope for. So that's one of the reasons why I do the playing lessons in my packages or in my programs, so that they can really just transfer train and build some confidence out there.
Awesome. It's a great excuse to go and play yourself, because we all have those driving range guys that hit balls and balls and balls and balls, but don't ever go out and play. So that transfer training is hugely important.
Yeah, so let's make comments in Facebook too. Why don't you play golf in Facebook? Why is it difficult for you to play golf? Been trying to figure out how to do that, getting more, even at a chapter level, trying to get these guys playing more golf. It's difficult. Our jobs are tough, but the more we can play golf, the easier our jobs get. I'm a firm believer of that. The more golf we can get out there with our customers, having more fun, the better it can be, no doubt. So, yeah, agree with all the comments, Brendan says.
Yeah.
I can see a few more Australians have popped into that list as well there, so good to see the Aussies tuning in.
Yeah, he's moved on down to New Zealand now. He's a Kiwi down there now.
It's good to see.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else did we want to talk about before I cut Brent off again?
I was insulted. I was thought I'm being pushed out.
No,
in the
you know
first
I
show.
didn't mean it. You know I didn't mean it. Well, I think that's about it. Next week we're going to talk a little bit about rules and mostly about PGA Show. Some other stuff next week. If you guys have things that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. Send us a message to the page too, right? And we'll put you on our messenger list. That way we can let you know when we're going to be hosting the show. But for a little while, we're going to be doing it on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. Seems like a good night for everybody, right?
Good for me.
Yes, good for me.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm so honored that you guys wanted to do this with me. It's so much fun. I'm glad we did this. Pretty cool stuff. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties, but bad button pusher. But next week will be much better. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. And we'll be back next Sunday with Mike Fagoff Show. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mike Fay Golf Show.
This has been a Mike Fay Golf production.
Follow us today on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are Mike Fay Golf, Team MFG.